What if Voldemort sought other paths to immortality? The Unbreakable Shadow. In the annals of dark magic, Lord Voldemort's quest for immortality was absolute. His chosen method, the Horcruxes, tearing his very soul into fragments, binding them to objects. This act, while making him nigh immortal, also became his ultimate undoing, his fatal flaw. But what if Tom Riddle, with all his cunning and thirst for power, had pursued a different path to eternal life? What if he'd sought out darker, more ancient, or perhaps even unbreakable forms of immortality? This what if doesn't just change the hunt for Horcruxes. It reshapes the entire magical world's destiny, presenting a Voldemort far more formidable, a shadow perhaps impossible to cast out. The path not taken, beyond Horcruxes. Our original Voldemort chose Horcruxes for their simplicity and the instant gratification of immortality. But the wizarding world is vast, filled with untold secrets and forgotten magic. What if Riddle, even in his youth, became obsessed not with splitting his soul, but with binding it entirely, or perhaps drawing life force from external sources? He might delve into ancient blood rituals, unholy alliances with primordial beings, or seek out legendary artifacts of pure, unadulterated life magic, twisting them to his dark purpose. This would require far deeper research, a more disciplined approach to dark arts, and a more thorough understanding of arcane principles. But the result could be an immortality without the inherent weaknesses of the Horcruxes. No diary, no ring, no locket to be found and destroyed. A stronger, more cunning Voldemort, the first rise. Without the soul-splitting, Voldemort's mind would remain whole. The madness, the self-mutilation, the inability to feel true love or understanding, elements exacerbated by the Horcruxes, might be lessened or take a different form. This Voldemort might be more charming, more capable of subtle manipulation, less prone to fits of rage, and more strategically brilliant. He could maintain his handsome, human form for longer, drawing more followers through charisma rather than pure fear. The first Wizarding War might not have been a messy, drawn-out affair, but a swift, terrifying campaign where his enemies found no exploitable flaws, no hidden anchors to destroy. His initial defeat, if it even happened, would be a temporary setback, not a near annihilation. The attack on the Potters, a different kind of survival. The night at Godric's Hollow would be fundamentally altered. If Voldemort's immortality didn't rely on Horcruxes, Lily's sacrificial love might not have had the same unique rebound effect that destroyed his body. Perhaps the curse would rebound in a different way, weakening him but not reducing him to a spirit. Or maybe, sensing a lack of true vulnerability, Dumbledore might have had to intervene more directly, risking a full-scale duel. Harry might still get his scar as a symbol of the attack, but without the Horcrux fragment within him, his connection to Voldemort would be less profound, less a direct conduit to his enemy's mind. He'd be a survivor, a hero, but not the chosen one with the unique destiny we know. Harry's childhood. No shared pain, no mental link. Without a piece of Voldemort's soul inside him, Harry's childhood would be vastly different. The painful visions, the Parseltongue ability, if not inherited from the Potters. The constant mental link to Voldemort's emotions and whereabouts, all gone. Harry would be just Harry, famous for surviving, but without the internal struggle that defined so much of his journey. This might make him a more well-adjusted teenager, but also leave him less uniquely equipped to understand or fight Voldemort. Dumbledore would still guide him, but his strategy would be less about protecting a living Horcrux and more about preparing a powerful wizard for a direct, physical confrontation. The hunt that never was, a new strategy. This is where the core of our story unravels. There would be no Horcrux hunt. Dumbledore's decade-long quest to understand and destroy Voldemort's soul anchors would be moot. Instead, the focus would shift entirely to discovering the nature of Voldemort's new immortality. Was it a ritual, A forbidden artifact? This quest would be far more perilous, far less defined, and potentially without any obvious weaknesses to exploit. Harry, Ron, and Hermione's missions would be completely different. Perhaps a desperate search for countermeasures, counter-rituals, or a way to sever Voldemort from his new source of life. A quest shrouded in even greater mystery and danger. The Second Wizarding War, a bleaker outlook. The Second Wizarding War would likely be a bleaker, more drawn-out affair. Facing a Voldemort whose immortality couldn't be undone by simply destroying objects, the wizarding world would be on the back foot. The morale of the Resistance might falter against an enemy who seemingly cannot die. Harry's eventual confrontation with Voldemort wouldn't be about destroying the last Horcrux or mastering Elder Wand lore. It would be a direct, brutal duel against a wizard who could potentially regenerate from any injury, making victory seem impossible. The sacrifices made, the lives lost, would feel even more futile against an enemy without a discernible Achilles heel. The cost of unbreakable evil, a different future. If Voldemort had achieved an unbreakable form of immortality, the outcome of the war would be uncertain at best. Even if he were defeated temporarily, the underlying fear that he could always return, always recover, would plague the wizarding world for generations. Victory might come at a far higher price, perhaps a compromise where Voldemort is merely imprisoned or weakened indefinitely, rather than truly destroyed. The scar on Harry's forehead would no longer be a key to victory, but perhaps a permanent reminder of an almost unbeatable evil. The magic world would forever live under the shadow of the Unbreakable Lord, a truly terrifying prospect. What if Voldemort had sought other paths to immortality? It's a terrifying thought, painting a picture of an enemy far more dangerous than the one we knew, a shadow that might never truly dissipate. His choice of Horcruxes, while gruesome, was ultimately his greatest vulnerability. Without it, the tale of Harry Potter would be one of endless struggle, a true fight for survival against an almost unbreakable evil. What are your thoughts on this more formidable Voldemort? Do you think Dumbledore or Harry could have ever truly defeated him if his immortality was unbreakable? Share your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to tell us which other what-if theory from the world of Harry Potter you'd like me to delve into next. Your ideas truly help shape the magic here on Omniva.